Well, anytime you come to Assembly Hall, you're used to seeing the orange of the Fighting Illini. But tonight, the Clemson Tigers have brought their orange to town, and they'll have to deal with a ferocious crowd, the Orange Crush, as they are known. It's the ACC Big Ten Challenge. A couple of unbeaten square off. Clemson taking on Illinois. And our tote board last night, it was Wisconsin on a buzzer beater, beating Virginia Tech. 6 wins needed to win the challenge. Hi, folks. Thanks for joining us here. John Champaign alongside Fran Fraschillen. A sea of orange. Just finished getting my hair dyed for this one. We are ready to go, and a good matchup. First real test for both these teams.
And a good time to wear an orange tie, by the way, as well. Yes, similarities. The color orange, both teams undefeated, but some differences because Clemson loves to press and run. That's Oliver Purnell's style. On the other hand, Bruce Weber and his young team trying to control the tempo in the half court.
Star Watch time now, and for the Clemson Tigers, Trevor Booker, he is their leading scorer and a handful to deal with.
3-year starter now, only a junior, also a prolific shot blocker to go along with scoring and rebounding. Mike Davis, remember the name, he's having a breakout sophomore year, the young man from Alexandria, Virginia.
Time now for our Best Buy starting lineups. And for the visiting Clemson Tigers, DeMontez Stitt, Terrence Oglesby can really shoot it up front. Rivers, Booker, and Raymond Sykes. And meanwhile, for Illinois, Bruce Weber has Chester Frazier. He's a little banged up. Trent Meacham, an excellent shooter. Dimitri McCamey with a 3-guard attack. Mike Davis and Mike Tisdale up front. You have Bruce Weber, his 6th year in Illinois, coming off a tough season. He's got a few good recruiting classes coming in, and they're excited about this team. And on the other side, Oliver Purnell's really turned around this Clemson program. Came from Dayton and last year got the Tigers to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1998. We are set to go. It is a sea of orange, and Illinois controls. Chester Frazier will give off to Dimitri McCamey.
Oliver Purnell told us today they'll see more screens from Illinois' offense than probably anybody they played this season.
Big Mike Tisdale handling. Chester Frazier has the ball. He is banged up. He's dealing with a thigh bruise he suffered on Thanksgiving Day in practice. Meacham. They swing the ball, and on the baseline, Mike Davis short. Fight for the rebound, and it's Clemson basketball.
This is a very, very unselfish Illinois team this year, John. You saw the ball movement. I'm not sure Dimitri McCamey, however, should have passed that open lookout, but good touches, a lot of touches early.
Casey Rivers, their leading scorer a season ago. And watch this young man, Terrence Oglesby. He can shoot from anywhere. Rivers pulls off, soft touch, and Clemson takes the lead, 2-zip.
And there comes that full court pressure after made field goals. We watched practice yesterday, John, and the Illini worked about half of practice just on that alone.
Frazier loses it momentarily. You can be sure the Tigers will be up on Meacham all game long.
Ball movement and screening is important, but you also got to use the bounce some in order to attack that pressure.
McCamey buries a 3, and the Fighting Illini take the lead.
Well, McCamey has been hot and cold this year, but he had a huge game in the win at Vanderbilt in November.
The two shooters on one another, Oglesby and Meacham. DeMontez Stitt had it knocked away briefly. Rivers gets a 3.
Well, you remember a couple years ago, and even in his first 3 years, he's been tremendous off the bench, KC Rivers, but now a starter as a senior.
They had Mike Davis wide open underneath the basket. Tisdale looking for some help, and a turnover. Oglesby from way out, and an air ball.
Now, that's not the shot Oliver Purnell wanted. We talked to him today. Specifically, he wants to make sure the ball goes inside out first with Oglesby. He has some license, but you see how quickly Purnell will go to the bench and have a little talk to his sophomore guard.
So Oglesby sits. David Potter checks in, the junior from Maryland. What's the best way to break this pressure if you're Illinois?
What you want to do is you want to give the man who's being trapped key outlets and somebody long at the rim. Spread the floor.
McCamey hits again, and he has all 6 Illinois points. Rivers has all 5 Clemson points.
You watch Dimitri McCamey on film. One thing that stands out, he's got a very quick release, John, which means he doesn't need a lot of space to get that shot off.
Sykes with his first touch.
Seen a good ball pressure early.
Rivers ball fake, 3 on the shot clock. Fight for the rebound. And that one off of Meacham. It'll be Clemson basketball.
Well, I mentioned Dimitri McCamey. This is a guy. Watch how quick his release is now. This is a guy that had 31 as a freshman last year at Indiana. And that line means nothing to him. That one's about 22, 23 feet away.
Casey Rivers, their senior captain. Potter pulls up. Rivers, tip no good. Fight for the rebound. Booker couldn't come up with it. McCamey to Frazier. Back to McCamey. And it rolls home. Dimitri McCamey, 8 points.
And a great look by Chester Frazier playing with that thigh bruise. But already on the season, 43 assists.
Booker into the lane. That was too easy as he went up over Mike Davis.
You notice as soon as he scores, John, Booker becomes the point of the press. They graduated a great one in James Mays defensively. Booker used his right hand on that move, and that's something he didn't do early in his career.
James Mays gone. They also lost Cliff Hammonds in the backcourt. McCamey off the mark, but the rebound by Richard Semrau. And it'll be Illinois basketball when we come back, fighting the line by a point.
Look, it's Dolly. Remember Dolly? How excited you were? Sneaking downstairs early, yelling so loud the neighbors came over. Remember how jealous Anne Marie was? Dolly was the bestest present ever. Nothing could ever be more.
Perfect.
Make this December the one to remember with some of the best values of the year, now through January 5th.
I might be wrong, but I might be right. Anyhow, I know I tried. I better leave, I better leave, I better stop.
Amazing phone meets amazing camera. The Samsung Behold, exclusively from T-Mobile.
I'm Ozzy Osbourne, and I'm the Prince of Darkness.
The Lich King is the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy.
Well, maybe you're the one who's been riding a bloody crazy train, but I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1979.
There can be only one Prince of Darkness.
Giant!
World of Warcraft. Try it for free at warcraft.com.
Rated T for teen.
Let me upgrade you. And let me upgrade you to the best channels in HD. Only on DirecTV. Let me upgrade.
Get the most TV for your money. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection.
Back here in Champaign, chilly night. The fans happy with the way the Illini have started the season, unbeaten so far. They lead here tonight by a point at Assembly Hall. John Champaign, Fran Fraschilla with you. You talk about an Illinois team that last year didn't make the NCAA tournament, and that was for the first time since 1999. They have a rich tradition here in Champaign.
Boy, they sure do. It goes back many years. Take a look at Richard Semrau. Interesting story. He was injured as a freshman, suffered a chest contusion, which led to an infection, missed almost all of his freshman year. Then a knee injury as a sophomore, John hardly played. So he's a redshirt sophomore this year, and so far has started to give Bruce Weber some good, solid minutes and production up front.
They need some beef up front. Mike Tisdale can get pushed around at times. Chester Frazier backing it out.
Well, Bruce Weber is from the motion offense school of basketball. A lot of cutting. You don't see the ball on the floor very often unless it's to make a play.
McCamey's three is blocked out of bounds, and it'll be Illinois basketball, 18 on the shot clock.
Well, Stitt now kind of went to school on those early jumpers by McCamey, closed out very quickly.
Mike Davis looking for some help. McCamey might have pushed off, or Meacham, I beg your pardon. Now Frazier. Shot clock winding down. Pull up high, arcing shot. And the first two for Chester Frazier. He is really the heart and soul of this team.
He really is. Oh,
look out the other way. And Clemson with Jerry Grant.
How about Jerry Grant? He's now 16 of 18 on the season from the field.
Back the other way. Mike Davis answers.
Two young men from D.C. Mike Davis challenging Jerry Grant. Mike Davis, I mentioned, rapidly improving as a sophomore. Long, just has to get a little stronger.
Travel and a turnover. And folks, the ACC Big Ten Challenge continues tomorrow night. A doubleheader on ESPN, 7:15 Eastern. Number 17, Wake Forest takes on Indiana. And then the biggie, 9:15 Eastern. Number 1, North Carolina. Number 12, Michigan State.
Well, we got a chance to see the Spartans. They're banged up right now with Goran Sutan week to week. And, of course, Delvon Rowe, the freshman, not operating at 100%. I think Oliver Purnell likes this frenetic pace so far. Both teams have been able to get up and down in the open court, but Illinois much more comfortable in the slower pace game.
They have not gotten Meacham a shot yet. Sembrau over to Frazier. Oglesby on him. Meacham bobbles. Sembrau has it knocked away. And that one off of Oglesby. Let's see how they handle this one, because there is about 1 on the shot clock.
That's right. That's what they're discussing now. Did Terrence Oglesby have complete possession of the ball? And if he did, all right, he did, because they're going to reset the shot clock.
Take another look at this. See if he had possession. Oglesby in the corner. Yeah, he did. He stepped on the baseline. So a break for Illinois. As Sembrau does good work, and he'll sit.
It's interesting, John, because Illinois has made some very tough shots early. The key is to continue to do that, because the Clemson half-court defense has actually been pretty good.
Illinois 5 of 8. Only 1 turnover so far. Calvin Brock with the basketball, the lone holdover from that 05 Final Four team. Brock pulls up and hits his first 2.
And Calvin Brock, one of Bruce Weber's first recruits to Illinois, a senior, very valuable off the bench.
Booker kicks out, and Rivers hits.
Boy, K.C. Rivers already the 7th. There's a steal. 17th all-time in scoring at Clemson and moving up the charts.
Booker shot contested, and he couldn't hit.
Well, if you're Trevor Booker right there, you got to take the rim off. No sense of 240 pounds babying that shot up there.
Rivers the rebound, and K.C. Rivers with 8 points. Easy to the lane and throw DeMontez Stitt.
Stitt and Oglesby only sophomores, but they got valuable experience a year ago.
Stitt with his first 2. We're tied at 14. And they get the block. And that foul charge to Jerry Grant, the son of Harvey Grant, who played 1 year at Clemson and then transferred to Oklahoma. Of course, his uncle, Horace.
Little Chicago. Take a look now, see if he steps in. And I think that he committed a little too late. The sophomore from DeMatha High School in Hyattsville, Maryland. Played for Mike Jones, who was coached at Old Dominion by Oliver Purnell, so the recruiting connections in play. Oliver Purnell, very, very popular in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area.
I had a cutting Brock there. That last foul, by the way, the first foul of the game. First foul on either side.
By the way, how about the Chicago Bulls connection tonight? Horace Grant, the uncle of Dre Grant, and of course Jeffrey Jordan on the bench for the Illini.
country. McCamey, he's got 10. He averages 12.
He's a very mercurial player, John. He can be very inconsistent. I think Bruce Weber would really like to see some improvement on the defensive end, but he can really score the ball.
And here comes Jeff Jordan checking into the game, Michael's son.
And brother of Marcus Jordan, who's a senior this year and a very good player, highly recruited. Dre Grant's one of those guys that he's about 25 pounds away from being a good player. I mean, a really good player.
McCamey going for the steal, and they get the freshman Tanner Smith with that foul. His first team second. Oliver Purnell, of course, came from Dayton. Tough last year. They got to the NCAA tournament and lost to Villanova. They had an 18-point lead in that game and lost in the first round.
He's a program builder, one of just a handful of coaches in college basketball to win 20 games at 4 different schools. Bill Self, Rick Barnes among the others.
Brock giving off to Jordan. 10 on the shot clock. Foul on Andre Young. Here's Oliver Purnell and what he's managed to accomplish, and you look at the way those numbers have gone up and up and up. And 06-07 was disappointing because they got off to that 18-0 start.
They did. In fact, you made a great point. They are the team that finished the season last with a loss. The only team in NCAA history not to make the NCAA tournament. I think their first loss came in late January.
Nice move by Trent Meacham, puts it on the floor, the redshirt senior from Champaign, Illinois.
That's what I was talking about, John. If they're going to press up on those Illinois shooters, that spreads the floor a little bit, opens it up for some drives.
Good look down low, Booker, and the left-handed shot, he got whacked in the face.
You see his first instinct is to still jump out in that press, and that's another steal.
And they get the foul on Meacham. Fighting Illini by a pair, a sea of orange in Assembly Hall. The ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Stop! What are you doing? You can't top the big wheel memory. This was the best present ever. Remember the freedom? Smelling the pavement? The wind in your hair? It's the big wheel. The big wheel. Look at it. Nothing could ever be this
Great. Make this December the one to remember with some of the best values of the year, now through January 5th.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Closed captioning for selected programming is brought to you by Skechers.
Skechers work footwear is stylish, durable, comfortable, and most importantly, slip-resistant. None of those people were wearing work footwear. By Skechers.
Oh, look, he went to Jared.
Excuse me?
May I see it?
Can I just get directions, please?
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Heart's Desire Jewelry at Jared, featuring ideal cut diamonds.
Oh, Dave, you shouldn't have.
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in sparkling high definition on ESPN2 HD. Now here at Assembly Hall, John Chalby, Fran Fraschilla. We talked about Oliver Purnell. How about Bruce Weber? And last year missing the tournament, first time since '99.
And he got off to a tremendous start here, as you know. Replacing Bill Self, went to the Final Four in 2005. There have been some problems, some off-the-court issues. Obviously, the Eric Gordon saga, where he decommitted to Illinois, eventually signed with Indiana. Only 3 top 100 players in the first 5 classes, John. But there have been solutions. Great recruiting success, which will pay dividends over the next few years. There's a young man from Chicago, Jeremy Richmond, who's only a junior, who committed to Bruce Weber before his freshman year in high school, and he became the ringleader for what is now 2 top 10 recruiting classes in 09 and 010. So I think he's weathered the storm, Bruce Weber, and brighter days are ahead for the Orange.
Yeah, weathered the storm indeed. Rivers kicks off. Stitt penetrates and gets the shot to go. DeMontez Stitt with 4.
And Stitt plays the point guard, but he's a scorer. Look how quickly that press is put on.
And they get DeMontez Stitt with the foul.
You know, you made an interesting point earlier, John. When you are pressed, now we know Illinois is a half-court team, but when you are pressed and you can break that first line of the trap, then it's incumbent upon you to attack the back of the press to get some easy layups. If you don't attack pressure, then there's no risk reward for the defense.
14 fouls on Clemson, 2 on Illinois. Davis finds Frazier. Frazier puts it on the floor and gives off to Davis. They get the offensive foul. Chester Frazier a little out of control, and good work by Rivers to stand in and take the charge.
You know, Casey Rivers, the senior, look at that. He's right, Johnny on the spot. Easy call. And Chester Frazier, also a senior, wants to be a coach. In fact, Bruce Weber calls him half player, half coach. Like the old player coaches in the NBA in the old days. Remember when Lenny Wilkins was playing and coaching the Seattle Sonics?
And a foul on the floor. College basketball on ESPN2 continues Thursday night. Got a doubleheader for the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series. A couple of good matchups. 7 Eastern, USC goes up against Blake Griffin at number 6, Oklahoma. Then 9 Eastern, number 9, UCLA. Number 8, Texas. It's the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series, ESPN2, and that's on Thursday night.
Well, we've got a chance early in the year to already watch Blake Griffin. Of course, we saw him last year in the Big 12. The guy is a dump truck on a trampoline. What a great athlete.
Oglesby, good look to Sykes, +1, and he'll go to the line. Raymond Sykes and Clemson on a 6-0 run.
Well, great dribble penetration by Terrence Oglesby. Watch Sykes set up behind the defense. Anytime you can drive into that paint area and occupy some of those big guys on the back line, Sykes sneaks in. Take a look at this. Nice little dump off. You never help up the lane. That's a rookie mistake by the young sophomore Mike Davis. When you help up, you expose the baseline.
Sykes gets it to go. It's a 7-0 run. That last foul on Mike Davis, his first, team's 5th.
You see how they changed their press right now. That time Booker didn't trap. They mix things up. They keep you off balance.
Davis from the corner and hits. And Mike Davis has done good work. Their leading scorer so far this season.
You're going to like him, John. He's about 30 pounds away from being a star. He's a late bloomer.
He's got 4 points tonight. And right there, they get Stitt for the carry.
Mike Davis from T.C. Williams High School in Northern Virginia. And if that high school name sounds familiar, that is the movie Remember the Titans. But he was signed in the late part of the summer because schools thought he was going to have to go to prep school. Spend another year.
Missing that shot. He is 13 of 26 now from 3 on the season. Sykes aggressively to the rim and gets it to go. And Sykes now with 5. France so far, Illinois doing a good job handling the pressure.
Well, they are, and they're making shots as well. They're making the pressure pay.
Semrau couldn't get the tip to go, but a rebound. And McCamey dribbles back out.
They've got a new clock, so they got plenty of time.
Frazier will back it out, the senior and their leader. Here at Assembly Hall, a sea of orange. McCamey a 3. And the rebound yanked down by Booker, who skied to grab that one. Semrau with the foul on the floor. It was first.
Take a look at this pick and roll action now. This is a hard play for Raymond Sykes. Now watch him come out and set the screen. And this is going to be a difficult catch and finish. And that's good body control by a guy that goes about 6'9". Not an easy play. That's like an over-the-shoulder catch in football.
Toss out to Oglesby. And the fans, the Orange Crush, taunting Oglesby, that air ball earlier, as it knocked away, and that one in the corner. And Frazier the other way for the Illini.
Frazier's one of those guys through his career has been somewhat maligned by the fans, but he is a winner. And this guy, watch out for him, Mike Davis. Remember the name. He played some as a freshman. Steve Lavin will be talking about him all year in the Big Ten.
Mike Davis with 6 for Illinois. Stitt up and under, couldn't spin it home. Rebound Davis. Kicks out Frazier. Meacham. Through the contact, no call, but he gets the layup. And Illinois back out in front.
Second time today, Chester Frazier has smartly finished a 2-on-1 break. That's the lost art in college basketball, finishing a 2-on-1.
Potter's three rims out. Frazier to Davis. Yep. And the two-handed slam. What a start for Illinois as they go on a 6-0 run.
Mike Davis. Remember the name, 6'9". He's only 205 right now. This is a guy that played sparingly a year ago. 3 points, 2 rebounds. And where did you come from? I mentioned he needs some weight, but he's a high flyer with a soft touch. Has a good basketball IQ, and early in the year he's been a key for Bruce Weber.
8 early points. Let's take a look. Terrence Oglesby going into the corner. He's a pesky player. He's already kind of gotten a reputation not being particularly liked. And watch this. The shove strength coach Jimmy Price. What was Oliver Purnell talking about?
You know, last year I talked to Mike Krzyzewski about Terrence Oglesby, and I said, can he be like J.J. Redick, one of those guys that goes through ACC arenas and the opposing fans hate him? He said, yes, as long as Clemson wins. And he's a feisty guy, but he's off to a slow start. He's got to maintain his composure on the road.
Tanner Smith feeding Booker. Illinois doing a good job defensively so far.
John, you get this feeling, we've had a couple of these this year, that this could be one of those games that goes for 40.
Offensive foul. McCamey knocked to the deck, and they get Rivers for that one. Well, Jimmy Price and the Illinois Fighting Illini leading over Terrence Oglesby by 3.
Wait, what's the matter with you? This was your first video game system, remember? Your greatest holiday memory ever. Don't you remember staying up all night? Getting 148,000? Dumb centipede. This is the best gift
ever. Make this December the one to remember with some of the best values of the year, now through January 5th.
A season full of surprises culminates with Championship Saturday. At 1, Virginia Tech tries to defend their ACC title against Boston College. Then at 4:30, number 5 USC battles arch rival UCLA for a trip to the Rose Bowl. And at 8, the Sooners look to secure a spot in the national championship game and capture their 3rd straight Big 12 title as they take on Missouri. Dr. Pepper Championship Saturday on ABC kicks off Saturday at 1 Eastern. College football lives here. The people.
These all...
Saturn, you got it. Happens a lot lately.
People do that.
Yeah.
Meet the new Saturn at the Red Tag event, where the price on the tag is the price you pay.
Right now, get cash back on most 2008 and 2009 Saturn models on top of already discounted prices.
Hi, I'm Hunter Tylo, and this is my friend Emmett. Emmett has epilepsy, also known as a seizure disorder. Epilepsy can affect anyone at any age, any time. Each year, over 42,000 deaths occur due to a seizure-related accident. There is currently no known cure. We need to know why, and before it's too late, so do children like Emmett. For more information, contact the American Epilepsy Outreach Foundation at epilepsyoutreach.org. Together, we can change the face of epilepsy.
Steve Bunin here in the studio. Ohio State and Miami, good football match about a decade ago. James Dews, the easy steal, goes the other way. Hurricanes up 14 at the half. Jack McClinton leading the way with 12 points for Miami. And another ACC Big Ten matchup, Boston College in a low-scoring affair that just tipped up the second half. Hawkeyes down 5. John, Fran, back to the Sea of Orange and what is quickly turning into the Mike Davis show.
Yeah, Mike Davis, 6 of Illinois' last 8 points. The Illini by 3. And Fran trying to pick up a win. The ACC has been dominant in this challenge.
I think one of the things that we've seen through the years is the ACC's middle and lower level teams have been dominant over the teams in the Big Ten. That's been the pattern through the years anyway. Well, how about Trevor Booker now? He's guarding Meacham. That's unusual.
So Booker, the big guy, out on their shooting guard.
And Stitt right now, they switch back a little bit.
Samrow, good work, can't get it to go. The rebound and the follow, but Booker loses it out of bounds. It'll stay with Illinois. Both teams hot from the floor. Davis off the mark there. Fight for the rebound. Chester Frazier.
Well, you know how important hustle plays are to Bruce Weber. Early in this game right now, he's going to be very pleased with the way his Illini have battled.
Both teams very scrappy. What do you make of Booker out on the perimeter?
Well, they're doing a lot of switching right now, and I think maybe because... I thought because Semrau's not really an offensive player, they don't have to waste Booker on him.
Kamey finds Davis. Davis will put back and it'll go. And Mike Davis with 10.
When you watch Mike Davis on film, he's got a terrific feel for the game for a young and inexperienced player.
Clemson first points in about 4 minutes as DeMontez Stitt hits, and 6 for the sophomore. And here's the pressure.
Let's see how they handle it now.
Booker gathers it in, and the foul will go to the line. They take the pressure, and the defense turns into offense.
I remember talking to James Mays last year, who Oliver Purnell says was his best ever at this. And he said, I love playing at the point of the press because that's where I feed myself. And there's an example right there, Trevor Booker getting a little lunch.
Dimitri McCamey charged with the foul, his second. 17th foul on Illinois. And yeah, Booker does the work down low. They've signed his younger brother Devin for next year, and he's supposed to be a good-looking player, as Oliver Purnell said, maybe even bigger.
I loved it. They said, if you like Trevor Booker, his little brother's a beast. I'm like, if he thinks he's a beast and he's bigger than his brother, he must be big. They also got Milton Jennings, one of the top 30 or so players in the country. Will be another outstanding recruit.
Rock can't get the runner to go. Booker another board. Clemson down a point. In a great atmosphere in a sea of orange at Assembly Hall. There's a turnover.
Well, that's a rookie mistake by Tanner Smith. He felt the pressure of the double team on the pick and roll and passed it too soon. Good cut.
Frazier swatted out of bounds. Booker able to cut over and knock that shot away.
Well, he's averaging almost 3 blocks a game, John, and he keeps climbing up a Clemson block shot chart, and you say, well, big deal. If you think about Clemson through the years, guys like Tree Rollins and Larry Nance, Horace Grant, Eldon Campbell, he's in pretty good. Dale Davis, he's in good company.
So Davis sits. He's got 10 points, and he's done good work. Illinois by 1, and the senior Casey Rivers will get a breather.
Boy, they've done a good job of shadowing Meacham in this first half.
Meacham handling. Lightning quick Andre Young, the freshman, has checked in for Clemson. He's on Frazier. And Dominique Keller. So Dominique Keller checking in and hits the junior from Port Arthur, Texas. Booker with Semrau on him. Uses the bounce to give off to Potter. Booker can't finish. Semrau tips out. Chester Frazier the other way.
Good decision.
Meacham for 3. Nice work down low. Dominique Keller again.
Well, junior college transfer, so he's just getting his feet wet early in the season. Getting a taste of the Orange Crush, too.
Keller's older brother David is stationed in Iraq. Certainly wish him the best. Young, long with that 3. And Keller the board.
That's a freshman shot right there, because Andre Young is normally a very good shooter, but it's easy to have nerves early in the year when you haven't played in this kind of environment. Biggest crowd of his young career.
Semrau wide open. Soft touch for the sophomore. A 14-4 run for Illinois, and it's the Illini by 7. Semrau's first 2. But it's been Dominique Keller giving him some good work.
Well, Bruce Weber knew it had to be all hands on deck tonight against a very physical Clemson team. Dominique Keller getting it done inside, and Richard Semrau, who's waited a long time to contribute to the Illini, he's knocking down a big basket.
Yeah, the Illinois Fighting Illini scrappy bunch, and I mean they get up after you. Here's Chester Frazier with that T-shirt. Look on the back. Matto, hard work, heart, and hustle, and a tribute to Matt Heldman. They call it the Matto chart, and that's their hustle board.
It's been their tradition since Lon Kruger coached here. Matt Heldman, point guard on the 1998 Big Ten champions, tragically killed in a car accident, and the coaching staffs that have come to Illinois since then honoring Matt Heldman by way of the hustle or play hard charts.
Yeah, they changed the name of the hustle chart to the Matto chart. Matto is what Lon Kruger called Matt Heldman. Sykes gathers into Oglesby miss and puts it in, and 7 for Sykes.
Now Sykes is really good at the point of the press, John.
And timeout on the court. Illinois by 5. And getting after it. Chester Frazier and company with the lead.
Blazers Celtics and Raptors Jazz, Friday on ESPN.
Rated everyone. There is a company that is like no other company in the world. CEOs got started here. Astronauts. And software engineers. You see, this company is filled with dreamers, but they also have courage, strength, honor. And when they leave this company, it will be with 1,000 opportunities and the respect of millions. They're strong, Then there's Army Strong. To see strength like no other, go to goarmy.com.
Ciao.
Ciao. Papà, dove vai oggi?
In America.
Antonio, dove vai?
In America. Antonio, dove vai oggi? In America.
In America.
No.
Into it, you guys.
Good evening, New York.
Meeting face to face without traveling place to place.
Let's start. I need to be in China in 20 minutes.
That's the human network effect. Cisco, welcome to the human network.
Now it's easy to choose the right setting for the job with new Smart Select technology from Black & Decker. The Smart Select drill and jigsaw. Smarter tools, better results.
Steve Bunin here in the studio. Coming up on the Dick's Sporting Goods Halftime Report with Jay Billis and Digger Phelps. Duke, Purdue, the top 10 clash. Which one-on-one matchup may decide the game? Ohio State and Miami, which preseason American has already been thrown out? Plus Iowa and Boston College tangoing for the first time since 1974. That's all coming up at the half. Now back to the Sea of Orange in Champaign.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. And Terrence Oglesby's had a tough night. Illinois leading this one by 5, and he hasn't hit the rim yet.
2 shots. He's over 2. It's like hockey. Got to get some shots on goal there, young guy. But confident player, but Illinois has done a really good job of taking him out of the game early.
Oliver Purnell said he is right there with the top shooters in the country.
It's a great year for shooters when you think of McElharney and Steph Curry, Jack McClinton, A.J. Abrams, of course, Meacham here.
Good look down low, up and under, and it rimmed out for Booker. Can't get the follow.
Booker's too finesse on those shots, John. I said it earlier. He's got to go hard to the rim. He's just babying it up there.
So you want to see him aggressively try and dunk it even.
The only guy that can finger roll in close like that is Will Chamberlain. You don't want to do that when you're 6'7", 6'8". Take the rim off if you can.
Calvin Brock kicks out to Semrau. Shot clock under 10. Meacham with Rivers on it. Down inside, and Dominique Keller now in 6.
This is a good effort off the bench by the Illini. Bruce Weber's going to be happy with the performance of Semrau and Keller tonight.
Nice move. Booker lays that one in.
Good no call right there, but you see his finesse. That time his finesse was a positive because he needed to create some room and space on the move.
8 points for Trevor Booker. Here's Booker at the other end before that make.
Yeah, John, he's about, 240 now. So he misses the first one, and watch him just baby it up there. He's just happy to get it on the rim. But now this is a little different because he's got to be finesse in traffic. And that time he's able to avoid the charge and make a nifty move to the rim. So,
folks, the ACC Big Ten Challenge continues tomorrow night, a doubleheader on ESPN. At 7:15 Eastern, it's number 17 Wake Forest hooking up with Indiana. Then 9:15 from Ford Field, the side of the upcoming Final Four. Number 1 North Carolina will take on number 12 Michigan State. The ACC Big Ten Challenge on ESPN tomorrow.
Indiana probably a year away, maybe 2, but we talked about Illinois' recruiting. Tom Crean's already put together back-to-back outstanding recruiting classes, and he's building the culture of toughness in Bloomington. It's not going to be a fun year, but it's going to be a fruitful year when they look back 3 or 4 years from now.
The ACC Big Ten Challenge, Wisconsin, a buzzer beater win last night, and the Big Ten leads. There's Meacham with 2, and he's got 6. It's Illinois by 7.
Meacham's had to get it the hard way by getting to the rim tonight because he's not getting a lot of open looks on that three-point line.
Clemson holding on for the last shot, and the shot clock and game clock pretty close to matching. Sykes to the rim, had it blocked, and he's fouled. Raymond Sykes aggressively at the bucket.
Tisdale needed to hold his ground right there. Sykes was out of control, but Tisdale bailed him out.
That's the second foul of the game on Mike Tisdale. Short on that one.
If they can, now they're going to press Clemson. If Illinois can get that ball over the first line of the press with 4.5 seconds, you've heard me say this before, they're going to have at least 4 dribbles to attack. If they handle the trap, they will get the last shot of the half here.
Sykes hits the second. Clemson within 6. Frazier, and they do have a look at it. Davis got it. At the buzzer, it'll count. And Davis finishes the first half for Bruce Weber with 12.
Great clock management by Chester Frazier. If you're a point guard, you got to have the clock in your head because you can't always look up. He had 4 bounces and still had room to make the pass. Take a look now. Good clock management by a senior point guard. Exactly why Bruce Weber calls him a coach on the floor.
Bruce Weber loves it. A red-hot Fighting Illini in the first half. 56% from the floor for the Illini. And they lead it at the break 40-32. Time to head back to the studio. Steve Bunin, Jay Billis, and Digger Phelps, the Dick's Sporting Goods halftime report. At the break, it's Illinois leading by 8. And our tote board, of course, Wisconsin a win at the buzzer over Virginia Tech last night. Big Ten has never won the ACC Big Ten Challenge. John Shambi alongside Fran Fraschillen. Illinois used a 16-8 run to end the first half. They really share the basketball well.
They moved the ball, and Mike Davis obviously has been outstanding. Chester Frazier is quietly one of the unsung point guards in the Big Ten. The senior from Baltimore, outstanding in the first half. 6 assists, putting the ball in the money. And, of course, when you can hook up with the sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia, in the open court, you're going to have a highlight play. Mike Davis with 12. We mentioned he's a late bloomer. Did not play a lot last year for Bruce Weber, but is off to an outstanding start as a sophomore.
It will be Clemson basketball to start the second half. Don't adjust your TV sets. Orange, orange everywhere. You're used to it here at Assembly Hall, but Clemson brings its sea of orange to town, and the Tigers down 8 at the break. And they feed down low to Booker.
Now, Booker's going to get double teamed, but I do think that they have to go inside out.
Oh, Oglesby buries a 3 from deep. His first bucket of the game, and it's a 5-point lead for Illinois.
He's taken 3 threes, and none of them have hit the rim yet, but at least that one went through the basket.
And again, that pressure from Clemson. Illinois has done a good job handling it. Feed down low, but Tisdale had it knocked away.
That's a good point you made. If you're 7-2, don't feed it down low.
And the feed there to Casey Rivers, 10. He had 8 in the first 5:30 of the game and then didn't score the rest of the half. And a turnover there. Clemson basketball down 3.
Well, this is your concern if you're Bruce Weber, because they played brilliantly in the first half, but because of this Clemson pressure, they're going to always be in ball games, and you can tell Oliver Purnell has ratcheted up the intensity with that halftime talk.
Mike Tisdale grabbing a seat. It's been a tough night so far for Tisdale. Has not scored.
Oglesby, you got to love a guy like this if he's on your team. If he's not on your team, he's public enemy number 1.
He could be a bit of an agitator. Both these teams undefeated, Clemson and Illinois.
I would go inside at Booker and try to get, whether it's Davis or Semrau, in foul trouble.
Rivers a 3 in and out. Frazier the other way.
Early in the season, John, the Illini have been so good at taking care of the basketball.
McCamey a pull-up 3. And Booker the rebound. Back the other way, going to the right hand of Montez Stitt. And 8 for Stitt.
You got a 2-on-1 here.
Frazier gives off Davis, and Mike Davis will into the first half with a bucket, has 14, and that leads all scorers.
That's what you've got to do. Throw it over the top of the first line of the press. Create that open court opportunity.
McCamey feeds Davis again using the window. 16 for Davis.
Tom, you see how soft a touch he has? Most young big guys would have run the defender over, and he knew exactly where to put it on the glass.
Davis 8 for 12 from the floor. There's Sykes. The follow, and 2 for Sykes gives him 10.
Anytime you have a low post scorer, it helps if your offside post man is a really good offensive rebounder, because that's where the miss is going to come more often than not, and that's what Sykes does.
Nice look. Oh, and Davis couldn't finish left-handed. Right there, tried to dunk, and he's fouled. The Illini doing a good job breaking pressure and working into transition.
Well, Chester Frazier's been a terrific quarterback tonight. You see he drops one off for Davis. And then once again, they attack, this time McCamey. And watch the soft touch by Mike Davis. And on the other hand, if you're a good offensive rebounder, you play with a guy like Booker, just hang out on the weak side, and you're going to get more than your share of opportunities to score.
Davis with the first free throw of the night for Illinois. So the Illini hot from the field, but have not gone to the stripe until now.
And this is the right guy to put on the line, because Davis now creeping up towards 90% from the line early in the season.
And now 18 for Davis, the sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia. He's 2 away from his career high.
Give him about 2 or 3 more weeks, John. He's going to start to become a household name.
Offensive foul, and they get to Montez Stitt with that one. That's his second foul.
We've talked about this. Stitt's not your pure point guard. He's a scorer, and Meacham, the senior, just plants his body perfectly. He'll get a, let's see, what do you get for that? For a charge on the Matto chart, you get +2 on the Matto chart. You take a charge, you get +2 on the hustle charts.
Pick up ahead, Davis, and it's 20 for Mike Davis, and it's been very easy. He's 9 for 13 from the floor.
Introduce yourself, Mike Davis. Just come Big Ten play, the whole league's gonna know about you.
Tanner Smith turns it over. Meacham. And Clemson back the other way. Jere Grant and a two-handed flush.
Well, that was a 4-point swing because Meacham had an easy opportunity. Didn't connect.
It's been interesting watching Illinois handle the pressure. Just when you think they've got it figured out, Clemson gets a turnover.
Well, that's it. You know, you got to be perfect when you attack this pressure, because Clemson doesn't let up on the pressure. It takes a lot of mental concentration over the course of 40 minutes when you play Clemson.
Davis, little spin move, 22, and a new career high for Mike Davis. He has all 10 second-half points for the Illini.
Confidence growing by leaps and bounds.
Stitt hanging, fouled by Semrau. It has been the Mike Davis show here in the second half. 10 points, the Illini leading by 7. And the sophomore from Virginia already with a career-high 22.
The Heisman Trophy presentation, December 13th at 8 on ESPN.
There is a company that is like no other company in the world. CEOs got started here. Astronauts and software engineers. You see, this company is filled with dreamers, but they also have courage, strength, honor. And when they leave this company, it will be with 1,000 opportunities and the respect of millions. There's strong, then there's Army Strong. To see strength like no other, go to GoArmy.com.
Garlic sautéed portobello mushrooms caress the taste buds.
Punctuated by the boundless possibility of hickory smoked bacon.
Fresh beef is the canvas upon which this hot and juicy masterpiece is painted.
There's a little gourmet in all of us. Introducing Wendy's new hot and juicy gourmet mushroom Swiss burger.
It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's.
TD Ameritrade makes it easy for you to open an IRA, roll over an old 401k, transfer funds from another account, or just set up a simple plan to help you stay diversified until retirement. No hidden costs, no IRA fees, just people who can help you with the investment products you need. Simple as that. The TD Ameritrade Easy IRA.
Call 1-877-TD Ameritrade or go to tdameritrade.com/IRA to open an easy IRA today.
I'm Ozzy Osbourne, and I'm the Prince of Darkness.
The Lich King is the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy.
Well, maybe you're the one who's been riding a bloody crazy train, but I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1979.
There can be only one Prince of Darkness.
World of Warcraft. Try it for free at warcraft.com.
Rated T for Team.
Steve Bunin in the studio. Over on ESPN, Ohio State at number 22, Miami. Jack McClinton, the All-America, kicked out of the game for taking a swing in the first half. Buckeyes are coming back, but Cyrus McGowan inside. Great dime. The Hurricanes up just 2, though. Ohio State making a run. Miami without Jack McClinton. Again, that game on ESPN. Over on ESPNU, Boston College beating Iowa by 11. Guys, back to you in Champaign.
Yes, Steve, how about that? Ohio State and Miami locked up in a good one down there in Coral Gables. And here at Assembly Hall, Mike Davis show continues. You go back to the first half, he's got the Illini's last 12, much to the chagrin of Oliver Purnell.
You know, he's very efficient for a big guy because he's got soft hands and a soft touch. You know, it's interesting, as well as Illinois has played, John, Clemson only down 6, and they have that pressure, and now they come out, show a little run and jump pressure here. That's what I mean when you change your defenses like Clemson does. If you're Illinois, you got to stay very mentally alert throughout the course of the game. And we know most players don't do that.
Sure. Frazier backs it up. 7 on the shot clock. McCamey. And McCamey. Fadeaway 3, no good. Booker the board, and here come the Tigers trying to cut in to a 6-point deficit.
See, I would go at Davis now. Nice roll.
Booker has that one rim out.
If I were Oliver Purnell right now, I would post Booker on Davis and try to get him out. Watch out.
Booker the steal, Semrau the slap, but Booker able to lay it in. 10 for Trevor Booker.
Booker moves well for a guy his size, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Davis off the mark, a rare miss from Mike Davis.
McCamey threw him a very lazy bounce pass, which is not a good pass for a shooter in rhythm. Fire the ball to him.
Booker, little jump hook, won't go. Davis the board, Frazier the other way.
You can see Frazier laboring with that bruised thigh.
Frazier firing a strike to McCamey. He tried to feed Semrau, and here's DeMontez Stitt one-on-one with Frazier. And the layup is good. Good quickness for the sophomore from Matthews, North Carolina, DeMontez Stitt. And he has 11. The lob, Davis, and the layup. And he's got 24.
Well, another good look by Chester Frazier.
And they get Frazier on the foul. Mike Davis has been outstanding.
Young man from Alexandria, Virginia. He was scheduled to go to prep school, but after a summer of AAU competition, the Illini coaching staff found out he was already a qualifier. So Bruce Weber said, come to Champaign. If you don't think you're ready as a freshman, we'll redshirt you. Well, he played some last year, but this has certainly been his breakout sophomore season.
Drake Grant has it blocked. The other part of that, he took his visit, liked it, went home, packed, and was here on campus 3 days later. I mean, that's a late sign.
As late as you can get.
Tisdale has checked back in. Been a tough night for Mike Tisdale, the lanky sophomore center. Dominique Keller in the game for the Illini. Gave him good minutes in the first half. And right there, Brock zigged when McCamey thought he was going to zag. Folks, the ACC Big Ten Challenge continues tomorrow night. It's a doubleheader on ESPN. Indiana taking on number 17 Wake Forest at 7:15 Eastern. Then at 9:15, it's number 1 North Carolina against number 12 Michigan State. And that one will be from Ford Field. Oglesby from deep and one. My goodness.
Right now, John, and I don't want to throw a player under the bus, but Dimitri McCamey in the last 2 minutes has turned the ball over twice, thrown a very lazy pass to Davis, and now this is an error of commission. We can live with this, but you can see how he didn't really fight through the screen, and he's cost his team, though, a chance now to have the lead, because Clemson has continued to fight back. This is the inconsistency I talked about with McCamey. He has no ball handling skills to create his own offense, so a couple of times he's put the ball on the floor out of control and turned it over.
Third foul on McCamey. Oglesby trying to tie. And a great free throw shooter, but he can't hit. So Clemson still down by 1. Oglesby with 6 on a couple of threes. Both teams have been red hot offensively. The Illini shooting 56%, Clemson 54%. Stepping in, Andre Young, but he knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay Illinois basketball, 12 in the shot clock.
How many times have you and I worked in the early season where we said pressure is cumulative? Sometimes you get very little out of it in the first half, but the second half starts to wear a team down, and not just physically, but mentally. Right now it's mental with Illinois.
But a game we saw that in Orlando was Tennessee and Georgetown. A thin Georgetown team down the stretch got worn down by the Tennessee pressure. And there's Keller hitting again. A great game for Dominique Keller. He's got 8.
Keller, Semrau, we've had good role players play well tonight.
Turnover, travel on Sykes. 10 turnovers now on Clemson. And Trevor Booker will check back in. Drake Grant will sit.
If you're Bruce Weber right now, with Brock, Jordan, Keller in the game, they just need to hold the fort down a little bit.
And again, you made the point, but it's sort of interesting because you have to say Illinois played well, and they're only up 3.
No, that's a good point, because and there's another sloppy turnover, just a miscommunication. This is why I say it's mental right now.
Jeff Jordan checking in, and he commits the Illini's 14th turnover, Michael Jordan's son. And Mike Davis on the bench right now with his 24 points.
And if you're Clemson, it's the reverse. Because you're a pressing team, you feel really confident for most of the game because you know you can wear Illinois down.
Calvin Brock charged with the block. Mike Davis on the bench. We'll see how long Bruce Weber goes with that scenario.
Let me upgrade you. And let me upgrade you to the best channels in HD. Only on DirecTV. Let me upgrade.
Get the most TV for your money. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Closed captioning for selected programming is brought to you by Skechers.
Looking good.
How'd you hear that, guys? I'm looking good.
It's because you're finally wearing Skechers like the rest of us. Your Skechers are sparing us from having to look at those big hairy toes.
Hey, Phil, that one's yours.
Los Angeles, we all can't handle it. Some call it plastic, that's just the half of it.
Take me to LA, take me to LA, take me to LA, take me to LA. I keep my hustle, you know, I make it go.
Rated Teen.
I might be wrong,
Amazing phone meets amazing camera. The Samsung Behold, exclusively from T-Mobile.
This place used to be filled with CDs and DVDs. Now it's all right in here, with room to spare.
Whoa. Oh, learn from the master.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
And I can take it all with me.
Oh, yeah, hilarious.
Now there's a 500 gig storage solution that docks and protects all your songs and videos. The new Free Agent Go from Seagate.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Steve Unit in the studio. Here's what's going on in SportsCenter right now. Plexico Burress suspended the last 4 games of the season. His Giants season and maybe career is over. The latest on that coming up on SportsCenter, which is coming up after Purdue hosting Duke. Dickie V in blue-collar country. Got the hard hat. He's ready for tip-off. That's coming up next on ESPN. Now back to Champaign on ESPN2.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. And here at Assembly Hall, the Sea of Orange, Clemson and Illinois. It's a 3-point game. Feed down low, Booker finds Sykes for the flush and the foul. Great look by Trevor Booker.
Trent Meacham on the weak side has got to rotate down and cover the rim. When you double big to big, take a look. Someone's got to get down here and get in front of Sykes, and Meacham is late. Take a look. You see Keller comes over with a weak double team. That allows Booker to find the open man Sykes underneath the rim. If you're going to double team the post man, do it with conviction.
Out of bounds. And it'll be Clemson basketball. Raymond Sykes with a dozen, 5 for 5 from the floor, and Mike Davis and his 24 points back in the game. Well, Iowa and BC locked up in a good one. Some bonus coverage. Let's send it back to Steve Unit.
All right, thanks, guys. 2-point game right now. Boston College hosting Iowa. 10 seconds on the clock.
See if they can get an open look. Bad pass. Loose. Foul called on Raji.
Wow, they're going to call a foul. That was before the buzzer. And that'll be BC's. Right now it says they've got 18 fouls. A lot of pressure here because this will be a one-on-one from the line. They may check the clock, but it looked to me like the foul occurred before we heard the buzzer. Brahmer does a good job just to get at this ball. He battles hard to get it, gets it. There's the foul. Reach in foul. And they're going to check the clock to see where it is.
21%.
Good hustle by Brahmer. Here's the clock right here. Let's check it out.
Yeah, there's time.
Well, I don't know. By the time that call came in late, I'm looking at all zeros. They were tangled up, but by the time it looked like the whistle blew, we might be looking at zeros on that clock. Let's see it again. It's tough with we're looking at the back of the official.
I think the foul's right there. It's just he didn't blow the whistle.
Yeah.
The contact had happened.
The contact had happened, and now when he's down, you see the whistle. So it'd be interesting to see. It does look like the foul occurred before 0-0-0. They need to determine now whether they blew the whistle in time. Here's the foul.
Les Jones is our official. It's going to make the call here.
It clearly looks like the foul happened before 0-0-0, but it looked like a late whistle in terms of actually calling it.
Les Jones is calling both head coaches over to explain the situation. And that's actually Gary Maxwell there that's going to do the explaining.
I think he's going to shoot. I think they're going to say he was fouled. You were in the act of calling it. And it looked like there was less than a second up on the board when it happened. It looked like 0.5.
So this game comes down to Andrew Brahmer, a 6'9" freshman from Rosemont, Minnesota. He is a 21% free throw shooter. Just 3 of 14 this season. But Brahmer has a chance to tie this one up for Iowa. Down 2 with a 1-and-1 opportunity.
I think the right call was made. There was a foul there, whether the whistle blew or not. Talk about pressure. And it's the one-on-one situation. He's got to make the first one to get the second one. A lot of time to think about it.
Crowd trying to distract him with 0.4 seconds left. This is essentially the game. Missed it. BC wins. What a finish to this game here at Connie Forum. Boston College comes away with a 2-point victory over the Big Ten Iowa Hawkeyes.
Iowa hung tough. It wasn't a pretty game from the standpoint of offense, but both teams grinded it out, worked their half-court offenses, tried to work to their strengths, and ultimately Iowa with a chance to tie. But in Brahmer's defense, he did a great job just to get at that basketball. He's just been 3 out of 14 on the season from the line. So if anyone was going to go to the line, BC got a guy there that was strong.
Steve Bunin in the studio. So bonus coverage from ESPNU. The ACC Big Ten Challenge is knotted up at 1 apiece. Now back to Champaign.
Here at Assembly Hall, it's Clemson leading by a point, and our tote board is BC gets a win. So a Boston College win and a Wisconsin win. The Big Ten has never won the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Boy, McCamey right now, only a sophomore, but needs to be more judicious in the half-court offense.
McCamey's had a tough time taking care of the ball in the second half, looking for some help here.
Well, he's not a great ball handler. He's really a one-dimensional scorer. He's a catch-and-shoot guy.
Crowd counting down the shot clock. Frazier for 3.
And that's not Frazier's game, but this is a good pace right now for Clemson.
Stitt aggressively to the rim and rolls it home. 13 for the sophomore DeMontez Stitt, and here comes the pressure.
Good decision by Frazier. They didn't have numbers that time. Good retreat and transition by Clemson. This is what I said earlier now. You've got to run your motion offense like you did in the first half. Be as hard a cutter as you were in the early part of the game.
McCamey buries a 3. 13 for Dimitri McCamey.
That's what his strength is right there. Catch and shoot.
Rivers trying to answer, can't. And a rebound for Frazier.
Nice.
There's Davis, 26 for the big fella.
Another great look by Frazier. And let me tell you, that's almost an impossible ball to catch. He's got rubber band arms. Davis runs the floor. Watch the court vision. Look at the point guard with his head up. And look how low he's got to go to catch that ball. Oh, he threaded the needle. Watch Frazier. He sees the whole thing because he's counting orange jerseys, and then he makes Mike Davis look like Larry Nance on the finish.
What you say, you always like a bounce pass when the guy's cutting to the basket, and you saw it right there. Well, the ACC Big Ten Challenge continues, 9:30 Eastern. Virginia will go up against Minnesota. That's next on ESPN2. And remember, the Big Ten has never won the ACC Big Ten Challenge. We got a special matchup here. A couple of unbeatens going head-to-head, Illinois and Clemson. And it is the only challenge game between two undefeated teams.
And in some ways, Illinois needs this game maybe even more than Clemson. Obviously, they both want to win, but Illinois looking for some redemption and some momentum coming off of last season's 16-19 year.
They get an offensive foul. They get Jere Grant with the foul, his second and team third. Say Illinois hooked up in a lot of close games last year. The Illini finished 16-19, but had a tough time in those close games.
Well, and Frazier falls down. Hard to see with the orange crush everywhere down here. What an atmosphere, John, huh?
You're having trouble seeing over my hair, too, right? The orange that I'm adding to the equation. Clemson down by 2. Sykes gives out to Oglesby.
Well, Oglesby's been guarded well tonight. So has Meacham. They've done a nice job on each other, actually.
Stitt, little pull-up. Demontez Stitt has used the dribble. He's got 15, and his quickness has been a factor.
Nice little jump stop as well. You see the pressure. And they've gone away from the diamond press. This is a safer press now by Clemson. There's more protection of the basket.
Mentioned that Stitt has 15-9 here in the second half. We're locked up at 59. And an air ball from Meacham, who's had a tough night from long range, but in close been good. Rivers. Fight for the loose ball. And they get Booker. Locked up 59-59 from Assembly Hall.
The biggest event of the year just got bigger. The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is here, and we're going above and beyond to bring you the deal of all deals on your favorite Toyotas, like great leases, cashback, or low financing. No wonder Toyota has the best overall value of any brand. And while you're there, check out the new Venza. It's your last chance of the year to get amazing deals. So hurry to the Toyotathon of Toyotathons today.
Economy got you down?
Save a load of Benjamins. Sign up for Comcast Digital Voice for just $33 a month for 6 months. With unlimited local and long distance plus voicemail. Because the less money you pay, the more you get to keep for yourself. Just call 1-888-4BEST-TV today. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic.
My life is so full. My family and friends, my passions. And I want my life to keep getting better. So I tune into My Life on Demand for information about nutrition, fitness, the newest drugs, treatments, solutions, and breakthroughs for my body and my mind. Learn more by pressing channel 888 on your Comcast digital remote. Then choose My Life on Demand for all that you need to better your world. My Life on Demand. What can be better?
The event of the year just got bigger. The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is here, and we're going above and beyond to bring you the deal of all deals on your favorite Toyotas, like great leases, cashback, or low financing. No wonder Toyota has the best overall value of any brand. And while you're there, check out the new Venza. It's your last chance of the year to get amazing deals. So hurry to the Toyotathon of Toyotathons today.
The Orange Crush at Assembly Hall, watching a good one, tied at 59, the ACC Big Ten Challenge from Champaign, Illinois. 7:40 to go here in the second half. John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla, a sea of orange, not just the Illini, but Clemson as well. And it has been a good game.
Well, you remember that Illinois had the 8-point lead at the half, John, but some sloppy play by the Illini, and Clemson with that relentless pressure clawing back into it.
So the Fighting Illini bothered by that Clemson pressure here in the second half. And Mike Davis, as Booker pushes up on him. And now Calvin Brock, they're having trouble getting the ball over the stripe. Now they do in time.
See, that's not a turnover there, but you see how much time it takes off the clock.
Davis left open, and they get the foul. Booker didn't like the call. Davis will go to the line. And that the first foul Trevor Booker, team's fourth. Now, Fran, Mike Davis will go to the line, and Davis 2 for 2. Those are the only 2 free throws the Illini's taken tonight. And worth noting, last year, they struggled in close games due to Illinois, 61% as a team from the line a season ago.
This year, 74%, but it's a great point, John, because you remember they lost 13 games by 8 points or less. 3 of those in overtime, but this guy on the season this year has only missed 2 free throws. He's got a great stroke. He's now 16 for 18, Mike Davis, from the foul line.
28 points for Mike Davis, the sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia. You saw Raymond Sykes taking a seat. The Illini by 2.
So they're going to try to go inside if they can.
Potter draws the contact and lays it in. Did a good job going over Semrau. First 2 of the game for David Potter.
Boy, the crowd roaring because Calvin Brock had 2 cutters at the rim in the open court, missed them.
Corner 3 by Chester Frazier. And he has 5.
Frazier's a guy that does not shoot it well from behind the arc. But you know, a guy like that with that kind of toughness, he's going to make some big ones.
Well, that was a big 3. Illinois by that margin. And Frazier with 5 points to go with 11 assists.
A lot of pick and roll from Clemson.
Stitt again to the rim. DeMontez Stitt in this game with 11 second-half points at 17 overall.
Remember, he's taking advantage of the fact that Frazier's not at 100%. Pick and roll creates that indecision on the part of the 2 defenders. Worked perfectly that time.
They try and get Davis involved. Semrau on the baseline, up and under, move by Brock, doesn't go, but there's Frazier to clean it up.
Well, the seniors from Baltimore, and Baltimore guys are pretty tough-minded. He epitomizes that, Frazier, playing hurt tonight.
Stitt, good feed to Rivers. 12 for Casey Rivers, a product of Oak Hill Academy.
Former teammate of Ty Lawson, Kevin Durant. Jamont Gordon, who played at Mississippi State.
See our ACC Big Ten Challenge told for it. The Big Ten with a 2-1 lead. Ohio State went into Miami and picked up a win. Now Rivers the other way. And 14 for Rivers, back-to-back buckets. And Clemson leads it by a point.
10 second half turnover by Illinois, and Clemson has gone to school on that. We talked about how you got to be mentally focused for 40 minutes when you play Clemson because the pressure never lets up. And KC Rivers with the easy one at the other end.
Well, all the challenge games so far in our ACC Big Ten Challenge all been real tight thus far. And you look at it, 5:03 to go, and it's a 1-point game. A combined 9 points for Wisconsin, Virginia Tech, Ohio State, and Miami, and Iowa and BC.
If you're Bruce Weber right now, you're talking to your team and saying, we've got to screen a little bit better, and we've got to shorten our passing lanes. We've got to make sure we can make 3 or 4 easy passes in the offense to get the defense moving side to side so we can stretch them out and then use the dribble or maybe a catch and shoot off of a screen. But before you do that, John, you've got to handle the pressure.
Clemson and Illinois at Assembly Hall, the only game that features a pair of unbeaten teams in the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Frazier getting a break off the timeout.
McCamey launches. Good work down low by Calvin Brock as he grabs the board, and he'll go to the line.
And that's a good look by McCamey. Those are the shots he shouldn't even hesitate to shoot. Credit Calvin Brock for doing work on that glass.
Mentioned in the first half, Calvin Brock is the lone holdover from that 05 Final Four team. Last in the Big Ten a season ago, but it's gone much better.
Well, the key now is they've got to make him in crunch time, because we even saw down in Puerto Rico with Memphis how much of a mental block the Tigers still have with those missed free throws. Sure.
Tied at 67 from Assembly Hall. DeMontez Stitt. Oh, and he couldn't get it to roll home. He has been something else here in the second half. Stitt, 11 of his 17 since the break.
Last year, John, DeMontez Stitt was a caretaker point guard. By that I meant he made sure that everybody got involved in the offense, but he didn't make a lot of plays for himself. You can tell there's improved confidence from the sophomore from North Carolina.
It's the front end. Clemson by a point. DeMontez Stitt, not really a pure point guard, had to learn the position last year, and then in mid-season he was their starter, but he went out with knee surgery, and when he came back they used him off the bench.
Well, by the way, you're looking at a Clemson team that is not exactly Pete Maravich-like from the foul line either, so both of these teams down the stretch are going to have to make their free throws.
Clemson 4 out of 10 from the stripe in this one. McCamey working on Stitt. And now Brock back out to Semrau, and Meacham will set it up.
See, they need to keep moving and screening. There's too much stagnation right now.
Meacham. Fight for the loose ball. Potter pulls it down. And David Potter with a big rebound. Clemson by a point and the basketball.
High pick and roll coming. Stitt's been good at this.
Kick out Rivers. Triple. Off the mark. Brock the board. McCamey can't get it to go. Rivers was going to hand it off to Stitt, but an Illinois defender dissuaded him, and they walk it up.
That's not McCamey's strength. He does not beat people off the dribble and finish. He's a catch-and-shoot guy.
Stitt has it swatted out of bounds. And it'll be Clemson basketball when we come back. Oliver Purnell's team perfect, 7-0. Bruce Weber's team 6-0, a tight one in Champaign.
This holiday season, those who never stop exploring always stop at Dick's Sporting Goods.
The biggest event of the year just got bigger. The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is here, and we're going above and beyond to bring you the deal of all deals on your favorite Toyotas, like great leases, cash back, or low financing. No wonder Toyota has the best overall value of any brand. And while you're there, check out the new Venza. It's your last chance of the year to get amazing deals. So hurry to the Toyotathon of Toyotathons today.
I'm Candyman, and Candyman is back.
You know the Candyman is back. Justin Evan with the rhyme, the Candyman is back, so check it.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward.
Steve Bunin in the studio. Coming up in the nightcap of our action tonight, Virginia at Minnesota, and the Cavaliers' standout freshman Sylvan Landesberg grew up in the shadow of the U.S. Open Tennis Center in Flushing Meadow, 21 points per game. Get your first look at him coming up next.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. Here at Assembly Hall, the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and Clemson leads by a point. Be interested to see Tubby Smith continue to try and grow that Minnesota program. And again, that's coming up next on ESPN 2. 3:19 to go in our game, and this has been a tight one. It's been within 3 either side for the last 7.5 minutes.
Well, big thing for Illinois, 10 turnovers in the second half after really handling that Clemson pressure very well in the first half. And there you see the struggles last year in close games. You mentioned it, John, a lot of it because of poor free throw shooting. 61%. Clemson shot 62% from the line last year.
Stitt will set it up. 18 points and 6 assists for the sophomore from Matthews, North Carolina. Pull up. And Booker for a rebound. Trevor Booker up and under. Nice move. Been a while since we called his name. Booker now with a dozen.
Soft touch, and they take the pressure off now. Here's the key for Illinois. Run your offense crisply. Screen and move. See if you can get something going to the rim. Hard for Frazier to make a play, John.
Meacham trying to tie it. Can't do it. Booker the rebound. And that's 8 for Trevor Booker.
Frazier doesn't have the quickness really to go by anybody because of the thigh injury.
Again, Chester Frazier playing with that thigh bruise he suffered in practice on Thanksgiving Day. And it's still nagging him. Feed down to Booker. Potter, soft touch in the pull-up. And David Potter with 4.
He's made a couple big baskets down the stretch. The junior from Severn, Maryland. We saw him last year. He had to play some power forward when James Mays was hurt. Versatile.
The Illini down 5. Illinois without a field goal in about 4 minutes. McCamey, little pull-up, nice shot.
Now you need a stop. And you got to be ready to handle the high pick and roll because Stitt's gotten into the lane pretty easily in the second half.
McCamey with 13. Back to a 3-point game. And a timeout called by Oliver Purnell.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Folks, college basketball on ESPN2 continues Thursday night. We have a doubleheader from the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series. 7 Eastern, USC will have to deal with number 6 Oklahoma and Blake Griffin. Then 9 Eastern, it's number 9 UCLA and number 8 Texas. A couple of good games Thursday night. Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series on ESPN2. We get a good one here at Assembly Hall in Champaign, and our sea of orange, and amidst it, the orange of Clemson ahead of the orange of the Fighting Illini by 3.
If you're Bruce Weber right now, you're concerned about 2 things. And it's a short clock, by the way, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Can you double the ball out of Booker's hands in the post? And you also must be ready to guard the pick and roll at some point because Stitt's done a good job of getting into the lane. This is a huge stop right here for Illinois. You have to finish it with a defensive rebound.
Tigers very efficient. They've scored on 7 of their last 8 possessions. And the captain, Casey Rivers, the senior, handling. Feed down low, Booker. And he's fouled. Trevor Booker will go to the line. Oliver Purnell's team taken its act on the road and done well against non-conference opponents, trying to make it 8 straight.
Well, we were in Minnesota a couple years ago when they knocked off the Gophers. Last year they beat a young Purdue team at home.
That last foul was on Mike Davis, his second. Team foul number 7, Clemson with 5 team fouls. Yeah, Mike Davis, a career-high 28, but only 4 points for the sophomore in the last 12 minutes.
Part of that, John, is because they have not really run their half-court offense efficiently. Remember how many layups he got in transition? Those slowed down when Clemson backed that pressure off a little bit.
Couple of big free throws from Booker. Clemson by 5 as McCamey brings it up.
See, McCamey can just stop and pop over Stitt. That's it.
And he does there.
Yes. He's got size. He shouldn't pass up the open look right there.
18 for Dimitri McCamey. And it's a 2-point game under a minute to go.
No need to foul if you're Illinois.
Timeout, Clemson.
This will be a 60-second timeout.
Bruce Weber talking it over with his troops.
Watch McCamey now. He comes up the floor, and Stitt's going to back off him, so he's going to have a rhythm 3 at the top of the key. See, he passes up on it right there. He gives it up, and he'll get it right back, and he's got the same rhythm 3 again. So my point is, take the first one. It's a good shot, but he nails it anyway. That's McCamey's strength. He's not a beat-you-off-the-dribble guy.
He's got the Illini's last 5 points. There's our reset. Possession arrow goes to Illinois.
Now the last possession, John, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Oliver Purnell ran a play to get it inside the Booker, and he got to the rim before they could really put any kind of double team pressure on him.
ACC Big Ten Challenge. Big Ten has never won this matchup overall. Big Ten leads right now 2-1 thanks to a big win from Ohio State tonight at Miami. And a red-hot Clemson team. Coach, I'll be interested to see the 5 that Oliver Purnell puts out on the court because he had the freshman Tanner Smith out there. He did not have Oglesby out there.
And there's your answer.
Oglesby will come back out onto the court.
And what he's got right now is he's got a mobile team defensively as well.
So 4 of 5 starters out there for Clemson. Raymond Sykes watching as Potter is out there. 18 on the shot clock, and Stitt will go to work on Frazier.
A single double for Rivers.
Stitt feeds down low. Booker. Nice jump hook by Trevor Booker. That is huge. 16 for the junior.
They never got to double team him.
Davis, little floater won't go. Tapped out. And McCamey, the leaning 3 in and out. McCamey, the putback. Oh, and it wouldn't go, but he's fouled. That would have been huge.
Well, 2 opportunities to score. Illinois didn't get a job. But credit to Dimitri McCamey for staying with it.
That foul was on David Potter, his first. 16 foul on Clemson, and McCamey at the line. And it's a 3-point game.
Let's see if Bruce Weber subs on his second free throw to set up his press.
It's really been Davis and McCamey. And here comes the substitution. Jeff Jordan will check in. And Frazier hobbled by that bruise. It'll be Jordan helping with the pressure.
Now, you would think Clemson would be able to get this in fairly easily because they go against pressure every day, but that's not always the case.
15.8 to go. Clemson by 2. Oglesby trapped in the corner, almost turned it over, and now they foul DeMontez Stitt. 76-74, Clemson trying to pull off a big road win and stay unbeaten. The Tigers are 7-0, Illinois 6-0 so far this year.
Through the 5 years at Clemson, free throw shooting for the Tigers has been an Achilles heel. Stitt comes in tonight shooting slightly over 70. Big question will be is if you're Bruce Weber now with no timeouts. Excuse me, they've got 2 left. They use 1.
So a timeout on the court, and let's head back to the studio and hand it over to Steve Bunin.
Thanks, fellas. So a dramatic finish there. And coming up, Ralph Sampson III, a freshman at Minnesota. His father is in attendance. He, of course, went to Virginia, 3-time All-America. And we will have that game coming up on ESPN2 as soon as you're finished in Champaign.
Should be a good finish here. Clemson by a bucket. Illinois with a timeout, 11.1 to go as DeMontez Stitt will go to the line. This kind of a coming out party for the Illini's Mike Davis, 28 points. And in fact, Davis and McCamey with 48 of the Illini's 74.
Bruce Weber going through the scenarios now. Do you need a 2? Do you need 3? Or is it a 2-possession game?
So Stitt at the line. The Tigers have struggled from the stripe tonight. And 1-1, he misses the front end.
Gotta go to the rim now. Go to the rim.
McCamey. Clock winding down. Frazier didn't get it off, and that'll do it. Amazing. The Illini could not get a shot off, and the Clemson Tigers on the road pick up a huge win, 76-74.
Dimitri McCamey's had a terrific night from the outside, but he's not a guy that beats you off the dribble. So he wasted about 6 seconds with the basketball because he wasn't able to probe the defense. Take a look. He can't get by anybody, and so he's forced to have to pick up his dribble, and he puts Frazier in a tough spot.
Chester Frazier just could not get it off in time. So a big, big win for the Clemson Tigers. 4 different Tigers with 14 or more points. Our final here, Clemson 76, Illinois 74, and the ACC Big Ten Challenge tied at 2-2. Up next, it's Virginia and Minnesota. We'll have post-game coverage of Clemson, Illinois on ESPN News. For Fran Frischel and our entire ESPN crew, I'm John Chambi. Time now to head back to the studio. Steve Bunin, Jay Billis, and Digger Phelps.
Thanks, guys. Another dramatic finish. What's going to happen when Virginia tips off at Minnesota? Coming up next on ESPN2. Tubby Smith has Minnesota undefeated here a couple weeks into the season, although their schedule has been very light. Welcome into the studio, Steve Bunin, Digger Phelps, of course, and Jay Billis. And we've seen 4 ACC Big Ten Challenge games decided by a total of 11 points. We've seen some great wisdom down the stretch from the young kids, and some not-so-great wisdom down the stretch from the kids in this game.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Dimitri McCamey is not a point guard. He's a scoring guard. When he got the ball with about 6 seconds left, that is more than enough time to get the ball up court. They had a couple screens set for him right at the top of the key. I thought that Casey Rivers did a nice job off that second screen at jumping in there, but McCamey needed to get a shot off. And they had a chance to win that game with a 3, or at least get to the rim. I think that would have been a good one for Chester Frazier to bring the ball up rather than McCamey.
But I don't think you set a set play. I think those screens delayed the action. I think when you get that opportunity and miss free throw, just spread the floor, run, get the shot off, and send 5 guys to the glass because you get a chance for a tip-in or the foul yourself at the end of that game situation. That's what broke down. Too many screens, and that's why Clemson got away with it.
You know, and plus, when you play Clemson, I'm not sure that you couldn't have fouled earlier with them because
all
they
night
did not
long.
shoot free throws well. I would have put them on the line a lot earlier than starting around 30 seconds. I would have had them shooting free throws.
That's their weakness.
Because they do miss a lot of them.
Nearly gave the game back. Duke is in our top 10 clash of the ACC Big Ten Challenge tonight at Purdue, West Lafayette, both in the top 10. And Duke getting great point guard play from its 2 point guards. Chris Kramer stripped. Nolan Smith going to jump up and get down. And then Greg Paulus is going to do it from the outside guys.
Yeah, but what you got to realize, the first 4 minutes of the game, Purdue doesn't score. They're so hyped up about this game, not getting into. But Paulus hitting the big 3. They're solid with their defense.
Another great finish in the Big Ten, the ACC Challenge, Ohio State against Miami. And Jack McClinton here with a bizarre turn of events, Jay.
McClinton had scored 12 points in the first 8 minutes of this game, but gotten a little, not shoving match. He got hit in the face here by Anthony Crater, and it was inadvertent, but he swung back. Now, right after this, he hits a 3. After the dead ball, the officials went to the replay after Thad Mott had pointed out that his guy got hit. They went to the replay and determined it was a flagrant foul by rule. McClinton had to be ejected from the game, and once he was, Ohio State in the second half really took off.
Lance Hurdle shoot the glass. Miami up 5, coach, and then under 7 minutes to go, we're tied at 54. Jeremy Simmons only made 2 shots. This is a big one, a 3 that gives the Buckeyes a 3-point lead.
But understand something, when you don't have McClinton, you turn the ball over. They had 19 points off of 18 Miami turnovers, and that's a credit to Ohio State. When you lose Jacqueline Clinton, you lose your guy, your leader, everything else as a senior. This is why they turned the ball over right at the end.
Turnovers.
This is what cost them the game.
Brutal situation. 19 points for Evan Turner. Buckeyes big road win, 73.
Up 14 at halftime and let this game get away, losing 73-68.
And again, free throw shooting.